Hey guys, it's JC, the Gospel Centered Health Coach. Just wanted to chat about something that started in a simple conversation I had with some teenagers this week. And it has been spinning in my head like I usually say, and that's usually why I make a video, but here we go. It's on making health goals. And I was actually talking to this particular group of teenagers about setting scripture study goals, which I realized can feel the same as health goals. Reading scriptures, better health goals, dieting, all that, they're the kind of goals that we set and hold our breath and white knuckle and keep for a while and do okay. And then we tumble down the mountain and go a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And we're like, oh, I'm doing terrible. I've got to reset that goal. I've got to redo that goal. I've got to get control of myself again. And it's this cycle that we just do over and over. Now, let me just please clarify from the beginning. I'm not saying it's bad to set health goals. That can be your beginning. That might be where you start. But what struck me when I was talking to these kids is we started talking about other things we do in our life that are automatic. We have complete control over them. We do them all the time without any goals. We don't need reminders in our phone. We're just very motivated. Even stupid stuff like brushing your teeth every day. Have you ever gone a whole week where you were so busy? You're like, I just have so much going on. I just couldn't get to it. I went all week without brushing my teeth. Like, it's ridiculous, right? Even if there's a bad day and we don't get to it in a day, we get to that. We make time for that. Eating's the same way. I don't necessarily have to set an alarm in my phone. I mean, occasionally we might have a day that's so busy, but by that night, we're in the kitchen. It happens every day and we make sure that it does. And I was thinking how many things were that way about. And so we started talking about why is it different with some of these other things, be it being in our scriptures or be it whatever health goal that you've set. Why is it different? Why can we show such self-control, absolute mastery over stuff where it's like, that isn't even an issue, it just happens? Whoa, wouldn't that be great if health goals could be like that? Most of them crash and burn so many times and you think, wait, I'm capable of this. So what's different? And as we talked about it more and as I've thought about it more, I really think it shows that at the root of whatever thing we're having to set a goal about, at the root of it, we may think or in our conscious mind that we desire it, but at the root of it, there is a bigger desire for something else. Scriptures, for example, like I know it'll make my day better, but then deep down, there's a bigger desire. Oh, it's boring, or I'll fall asleep, or I just am not getting anything out of it. Or you see what I'm saying? There's these conflicting ideas. And when we crash on our goals, it's because one of those conflicting desires has won. And so really, while I appreciate the opportunity that health goals give us, if we go into it with that spirit of just like, okay, I've got to do this, and we just head into it with this goal mentality in that old paradigm where we're just setting it and doing as long as we can, and then we crash, then we set it again. What if we decided to get deeper down and find a bigger why? I mean, that happened to me. And I know if you've watched my other videos, you've heard me say this, but it happened to me with my diet. I was the crash and burn girl for 20 years. And when I realized there was a link between depression and sugar, suddenly I had a bigger why. Suddenly the motivation completely shifted on the heart level, deep down in my heart. And then I didn't have to hold my breath. Suddenly there was a motivation that was going to happen every day because the motive was so compelling that it just shifted it. It wasn't the white knuckle energy anymore. And so that's kind of why I've created my online classes, why I recommend so many books in the description box below. And I'll put those back in that link, all those links down there below. But it's about getting down underneath the surface and saying, what is driving this behavior? Underneath the surface, deep down, what am I desiring I'm sabotaging myself because a deeper desire is winning? I need to lose weight. but I love chocolate. I am so emotionally attached that that desire always wins and that goal crashes. So maybe instead of setting a goal, it's about some self-awareness, some looking into our heart and saying, what's the competing desire that keeps, wrecking this? Scriptures are the same way. Maybe it's the voice of the enemy. Getting inside is so boring. Oh, you don't have time, whatever the message is that wins that day. And letting the Lord help us see so that we can shift that motivation. And those things become natural in our lives because we see them with a new lens. It's just a thought I wanted to offer today. Again, if you're all pumped up and ready to set some new health goals, go for it. I'm not saying that that is not a wonderful way to start to move forward, but when it comes to healing, when it comes to letting the Lord transform us from the inside out, goal energy, that kind of vicious cycle, that's time to put that away and address it on a different level. And I really believe that's where Christ works his greatest magic, is in healing us on that level. And suddenly we're watching ourselves going, I remember when there was no way I thought I could do this for a whole day. And suddenly I've gone a whole week or a whole month and it wasn't even hard. It's because things have changed deep in our heart. So just hoping that will bless you today and hoping you're having a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me.